Mr. Chin, are you with us?
I'm with you. Hi.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So we understand there's significant damage at the airport.
Well, yes, and in some parts more than less. So we've walked the terminal and we've seen some pretty significant damage in different parts of the airport. So there are some water leaks in all of our concourses, some more than less than others.
Is it all water related, leak related? What other kind of damage are you seeing, sir?
No, this is just water coming in from the storm on the south end of the airport, more than the north.
And will this have any impact on your ability to get the airport back up and running?
Slightly. There's some areas that have a lot of moisture, a lot of wetness on the ground that we're going to have to suck up and vacuum out. So those areas will be cornered off, and it won't stop us from using gates nearby, but the gates that are closest to that water damage will have to close off.
Mr. Chin, I wanted to ask you, we've been following this story about all these people, these tourists who were on cruise ships who ended up at MIA just at the worst hour, basically, as the storm was rolling in. And you guys had said repeatedly that the airport was not a shelter, but you found yourselves with all these thousands of people stuck there, not able to get out. So can you explain to us what happened there and where those people are now?
Sure. Well, we understand that the cruise lines wanted to get these people to the airport and try to get them back on flights and back home. Unfortunately, most of them could not be rebooked at the time, so there was some delay in getting them on flights. But thanks to American Airlines and other airlines who added extra flights, actually American added 21 extra flights, we were able to rebook them and get everyone on their way on Friday. So we feel very fortunate that what could have been thousands of passengers in the airport wound up just being really a few dozen.
Greg, give us a timetable here. What are you guys hoping in terms of getting the airport back up and running at full speed?
Well, we've got to do a damage assessment tomorrow when there's daylight. So there's still pretty significant winds and rain outside. So tomorrow when we have light, we'll do an assessment of the terminal, our fuel farm, and different parts of the facility. We've already walked it to see the water damage. And we'll prepare and try to get things up and running on a limited schedule, possibly on Tuesday.
So when you say a limited schedule, give us a sense of what that means. About how many flights do you expect to be able to come in and out on Tuesday?
Well, we've got to work in partnership with the airlines to determine that. It depends on them getting aircraft back in town, getting crew here. A lot of local crew have damage to their property and they're not able to get here. So we think airlines have to fly in from other cities, their crew, to operate those flights. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, and it's going to be an incremental increase. We can't go from 0 to 100% overnight. So we'll have a few flights one day, a few more the next day, and go from there.
Do you find that people are being understanding about this whole situation? Because I know sometimes airports get the brunt of the frustration that's kind of out of their hands.
Well, we think, all things considered, things went very smoothly because, as you discussed, there were a number of cruise passengers here who we thought they were going to be stuck in our airport over the weekend, and they were able to at least get out of Miami, get to Dallas or other places, and connect through there. So they're very happy, and of course we know there are people in town who want to rebook and get on flights. So and they're probably maybe in local hotels and that kind of thing. So there just has to be a little bit more patient, but I think all things considered, they should be very happy.
Have you been in touch, has the airport been in touch with the federal government at all? I'm just wondering if there's been any request to use Miami International Airport to bring in any of the kinds of supplies or equipment that's going to be needed to sort of begin the cleanup here in South Florida, even down into the Keys. Is the federal government involved in all of that? Is there any kind of communication between MIA and the FAA, for example?
That's been preliminary so far, we think, and again, based on the damage assessment we do tomorrow and our capability to handle flights, which we think we'll be able to do very soon, we'll work with the federal government and start talking about humanitarian efforts and things we can do here and what kind of support they can give us. So we think we'll be able to do that very soon.
And how about the people who had tickets, who had to reschedule, who had to cancel, who are wondering when they can get out or when their relatives can come in? What should they do? What's the best way? Obviously, you don't want them crowding into the airport to try to ask you in person, right? What's the best way for them to kind of assess their situations and their timelines?
Exactly, and they definitely don't want to just converge on the airport and try to do things here. They're going to be disappointed and wind up spending the night in the airport when they could have been more comfortable where they were before. But we really urge people to get in contact with their airline, make arrangements before coming to the airport. It'll be a lot easier that way.
Can you talk to us also about just the massive operation when you find yourself with a storm moving in like this, or a potential hurricane moving in, and you have these thousands of people? I know a lot of them were able to get on flights and get out, but just keeping the operation going, keeping the airport going, employees, staffing, electricity, all of that. I mean, how did that go?
Well, we're extremely proud of the employees here, and it was really a team effort of people riding out the storms, many of them leaving their families at home and coming into work before the storm. We had concessions open. We had Dunkin' Donuts giving employees free coffee and a donut while they were here. We had about 600 employees here when you talk about cleaning crew, concessions, airlines, TSA, CBP, doing the necessary preps to get ready to open back up again. So we're very proud of the team we have here.
Greg Chin is a spokesperson for Miami International Airport, where they hope to begin flights on Tuesday, slowly at first and then ramping up from there. We wish you all the best, and we want to check in with you tomorrow after your team has had a chance to do the damage assessment. So you'll have some more information then, and we'd love to hear about it, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.